Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place, this is the space for us to grow, for us to heal, for us to work and transform into the person that we were meant to be. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I am so excited to be your host today. So, let me tell you, today's topic is all about something that seems very simple. And I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this, but it is really difficult in execution. The subject of today is all about relaxation. And I am telling you, as somebody who's been a caregiver, as a mom, as a hard worker, like as just a goer, like in this super fast paced life, relaxing is such a challenge for me. Like, even when I think I'm relaxing, I'm on my phone, I'm working on Canva, I'm doing other things, I'm researching, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to YouTube, I'm learning something, I'm doing something for my kids, I'm doing something for my business, I'm doing something for my spouse, I'm doing something for somebody. I'm rarely ever just sitting and relaxing. It's always on the quest for more knowledge, more things to do. And even when I'm like watching a show or something, I find myself within a short amount of time grabbing my phone or doing things. And I'm like, what is going on? Today was ever present. Chris had a job again in Carmel. And so I tagged along. Oh my gosh. Let me just say, first off, living the dream. This property is historic. It is marvelous. It overlooks the freaking Pacific Ocean, like walking distance, and you could just see it from all these angles within the house. And you see the Pebble Beach golf course. Let me just tell you, heaven on earth. I went up. They had this area with like chairs. I walked around their little garden with succulents and artichokes that, like, I didn't know artichokes after they were like flowered, like past their prime. They had these purple spiky things that were actually very cool and pretty looking. I was like, oh my God, that's really cool. I never seen that before. And I was like, I swear it's an artichoke, but it looks like a flower. Like, it was very cool. Then Chris and I, when he was done with his job, walked down to not Capitola, Carmel by the Sea Beach. And we just sat there, and it was really difficult for me. My phone died, so that wasn't an option to even go on the phone. And even when I first got there, I was taking pictures, I was taking some video, I was walking a little bit. And usually I would be like, let's walk the beach. But because I'm still in recovery, like, just even walking there was hard, and then walking back and being in the car for hours and hours, I knew it was going to be like a strenuous day on me. So I was trying to play it safe. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, it is a challenge for me to just sit here and relax. Like, I'm thinking about things to do at home. I'm thinking about, okay, my son is leaving out of town. And so I just dropped him off at his friend's house not long ago. And he's going to Hawaii with his best friend and another really good friend and the parents. And so we're really excited for him to get that experience. But then it was just like, I was worrying about, okay, does he have everything packed? Is he ready? Is he da 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 da? And then I was also sitting there, and I start thinking about, like, okay, how are we going to set up the room? And now that Chris is moving in, how do I make space? Where do I make the space? Okay, what can I clean out? What can I do? Like, oh wait, I have this stuff to do at my uncle's house. Oh, I have this, like, I started thinking about when I'm going to travel, and oh my God, that's in like 2 weeks, and like, so many different things. And I'm just at this most beautiful beach. The water is teal. The weather is perfect. You can see I'm sun-kissed, maybe a little sunburn, but I put on sunblock. That I really did. And here was this challenge for me to really just relax, and it became very obvious, like, to me. And I was like, I just have learned in my adult life, like, I didn't have a lot of relaxation ever. I was always worrying about if something would happen to my dad, if something would happen to my grandma, something would happen to my brother. I was worried about my mom, even though she wasn't there. I was worried about friends. I was worried why I didn't have a lot of friends. I was worried about the way people looked at me. I was worried about the way people would think about my family dynamic. I was worried about my weight. I was worried about what to eat. I was worried about when to eat. I was worried about, having to clean my room. I was worrying about cleaning my room. I was worrying about so many things. If we'd have enough money to pay the bills that month. My little world was so filled with worries. Will my dad get up on time for work? Will my brother get up on time for school? Will my brother do his schoolwork? Will he get in trouble at school? Will then my dad yell at him? What are the consequences? And so, like, I just had so much going on. And as a kid, I was just really like observing all these things. And as I got older, I kind of fell into this motherly role, even beyond my family. Like, even with my friends, it was like, okay, I'd pick everybody up, I'd drop everybody back off home. No, I don't need gas money. No, I don't need anything. I'd go buy the drinks, I'd go do this stuff. Like, I just really was this force that just did so much in everybody's life. And I got used to doing so much stuff. I that became my baseline. And I would feel so uncomfortable when I didn't have all this chaos and stress. And even still now, like, I started to think about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was only 23 when I was suddenly pregnant, buying a house. I was had a baby that was born early, had a baby that needed heart surgery. Like, just crazy things happened. And like, from that moment on, like, that I found I was pregnant, I feel like I've been running on a treadmill, and it never stops. And then I was even reflecting, even while I've been healing here from a major surgery, I've been like, hurry up to heal. Like, gotta get going, gotta do the grocery shopping. Chris is sick, gotta cook, gotta clean, gotta do these things. And yeah, I've sat back and not done some things. Like, finally today got some cleaning in the living room done, and I was like, thank God. It's been 2 months since I've slept in a bed, which is exhausting in itself. And I just am so busy doing. And I have found time, right? I found time when I go sit outside and I get my sun. Today there were moments that I just, put my head back and I wasn't on my phone. But on the same turn, then I was taking calls. I was paying architects. I was doing all these other things. I was setting appointments. I was checking on things. I was, teaching my son how to do something. Like, there isn't a lot of relaxation in my life. And so it was so evident. It was such a lesson that I really need to get comfortable relaxing and just doing nothing. And there was a lot of time in the healing, like, where I would sit in my cocoon, my little chair, and I would just stare out the window. And I really did. I just didn't have the energy to do anything. And had I had the energy, I probably would have been up and running around. I feel like this constant need to be busy. And sometimes in life, the best action we can take, the best thing we can do for ourselves, is not do anything. And I know, I'm always saying action and do something small every day and consistency and all these things. And it is important. It is so important. It's critical. But it is also important to rest, to recharge, to reevaluate. Because if we don't rest, if we don't take these pauses, like today, I kept having to like remind myself, like, just enjoy this moment. And before we got up, I was like, I'm just going to stare at the ocean. I'm going to watch the waves come in, and I'm going to think of nothing else. And thoughts did try to come in. Oh, let me tell you. And it was like, what are we going to eat? What are we going to do? Is Chris hungry? Why is this fly on me? Like, there were so many things that were happening that I had to consciously think of it. So again, it goes back to this whole concept where my right hand, my default hand, my dominant hand, wants to take over, and it wants to be busy. It doesn't feel comfortable just having calm and the lack of chaos, because everything has been chaotic in my life from the moment I was born to these teen parents who were just doing their best, and it's been chaotic. And suddenly, now that my son is a senior and these doors are kind of closing, but yet other ones are opening, I really am the master of the next part of this journey for myself. And I really want to work on becoming more comfortable in the relaxation, in the just enjoying the present, in the moment, and absorbing that. Because I'm so preoccupied so many times about all the next things to do. I mean, from the minute I came home, it was helping my son pack, rolling up his stuff, getting him to the place. Oh shoot, he forgot his EpiPen. Coming back home, getting it back there, coming home, finishing my steps, posting my video. Now I'm filming the video. Do you know it's actually the next day? It's 12:10 a.m. I've been up since 5 in the morning. I couldn't sleep much last night. I went to Carmel. I've done all these things, and I'm realizing that so often in my life, I believe that things have to be a struggle and they have to be hard and complex, and I need to be doing something at all times. Do you feel like this? I feel like it is a critical part of our mission, a critical part of our lives to take time in silence ourselves. So I'm going to challenge myself, and I want to challenge you this week to take at minimum 5 minutes a day, minimum, where there is a no phone zone and you are just relaxing. You are not talking to somebody else. You are not conversing. And when those thoughts start coming in, like, what am I going to do next? And all these things, that you do your best to silence them. We can do some journaling. We can do some things like, why is this so hard? Because many of us are like me. Many of you have had chaotic lives. You're caregivers, you're multitasking, you're employees, you're business owners, you're bosses, you're all these things at the same time. And there's so many things competing for your attention. There's only 24 hours a day. And quite frankly, we sleep, 6 to 8 of them. So there you go. There's a chunk of your day gone. And then the rest of it, there's all these things competing for it. Even tonight, as I was on my computer, I was getting my everything getting ready to post for today. And I'll be darned, I was like, here I am. And suddenly I went to go to one tab, and the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, why is this tab open? I'm refreshing. I'm checking airline prices. I'm doing, and then 10 minutes went by and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I on my computer? What is my objective? Focus in. But because I am so unable to relax, I'm so unable to, I feel this challenge to be present. Even when I was weak, it was easy to relax. But the stronger I've gotten, the more challenging it is to relax, because I'm like, all these things I didn't get to, all these things to be got to, and I don't want to get behind. And I always feel like, if I could just get this clean, if I could just get this thing done, if I could just get this organized, if I could just get this, then I can relax. But every time I get something finished, every time I do it, don't worry, something else fills it in, and it's not relaxation time. It is more and more and more. And it's exhausting. And when you're full of strength and you're strong and you're energized, we can maintain it. It's not ideal, circumstances, but we can do it. But over time, and then when we have something chaotic come in, whether it be a disruption in your family, an illness, a surgery, something happens, it's really hard to maintain that level because you don't have enough fuel in the tank. Relaxation refuels the tank. So even though I've been up since 5 in the morning, I feel an energy to be able to do this because I did finally get myself to relax, to just enjoy that moment of where I was and what I was doing. And it's so critical. And that stillness, I learned so much. I learned more in the stillness than I would have if I would have been walking the beach, looking at shells, looking at the dogs, looking at whatever else was happening, like I usually do. Sometimes when I'm looking for things, I often miss the things that are right there. And so I really have this reminder for you today and for myself to just chill out and freaking relax. It is so difficult. We have phones, we have responsibilities, we have all these things competing for attention. And the thing that needs our attention most is ourselves. We need to get quiet. We need to relax, to reconnect and align and check. I know that this is where we wanted to be last week, but is it still where we want to be? Is this still the correct path? Or was that path leading us to something, a different path? And if we never check in, if we never get silence, if we're always consumed with sounds and noise and activity, we never get that opportunity to check in with ourselves. I am guilty. I will listen to music so loud. I will do so many different things. And I was really good for a long time with getting my meditation in. And again, it's one of those things that it just wasn't an instilled habit enough that when stuff goes crazy, that's one of the first things to go. And I have to build back because I loved my morning routine. My morning routine was actually filled with a lot of relaxation. My morning routine was actually filled with a lot of things that fulfilled me, that fueled my tank, and was all about relaxing, was all about, challenging myself and things. And so I think that it's a beautiful thing to have a magical morning routine for yourself. And if you can establish some relaxation within your day, I'm asking you maybe 5 minutes. If you can't do 5, let's start with 1. Like, that's a challenge enough in itself. So I really want to challenge you to do what you like to do. Do you like to go for do you like the beach? Do you like to be in a, maybe like forestry? Do you like flowers? Do you like being home? Do you like a garden? Like, what is it that you like? And I'd love for you to find a space in this quiet space, create a space that is safe, that is conducive for you to just relax. Just breathe in and breathe out. So much so, we are often breathing just shallowly. We're not getting those deep breaths in our body that are healing. It is such a critical part of our life to keep us healthy as we can be. So I say all of this to say thank you for tuning in today. I want you to go out there. I'm going to cut this short so you can go and relax. Use this extra time that I'm shaving off here today and relax. Where it can be in your car, where whatever it is, someplace that you could just chill out for 1 minute, 60 seconds. You've got that, right? It is going to fuel you so much. You are going to feel more energy, more strength, more confidence, more alignment with yourself by simply giving you the gift of relaxation. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so freaking proud of you. Please, please, please give yourself a huge smile. You deserve it. Give yourself a compliment. Today, my compliment is this. I know it was a challenge to relax, but I appreciated that I kept trying to do it. I did not give up. I started to practice, and when I noticed I wasn't relaxing, I went back to the drawing board, and I did not give up until I finally did relax. And I would love to say, please also go share that beautiful smile with the world. Give somebody else that smile. Give somebody else a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. So thank you. Bye.